Hey guys, Dave Baggs here, and today we are going to talk about some current affairs, some things that are going on in the world today. And if you're wondering why I wear a paper bag on my head, well, go ahead and click that link down below in the description, and it'll tell you exactly why I don the paper bag. But for most of you guys who've watched my show, you already know. Now, let's get right into it. Now, you guys know there's a lot of things going on in the world today, but there's a lot of things going on right here in the United States that's got me pretty angry, to say the least. Now, I don't have a problem with protests. I don't have a problem with people speaking their mind, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of religion. No problem. You guys want to do that peacefully, that's fine. I'm not really that kind of guy that go down and protest, but if you want to do it, go ahead. Let's talk about why some of these protests happen in the first place, especially now in the United States of America. A lot of things are happening here where people want to start taking down statues that have to do with the South, okay, with the Confederate Army, okay. Robert E. Lee, as an example, they taking the statue of Robert E. Lee down, pulling Confederate flags down off of walls, taking them off of flagpoles, and things like that. I have a problem with that because, well, first of all, let me tell you guys, I'm not from the South, okay? And I'm also not a racist. I was born in New York, and I also believe in American history. I believe in world history. And I believe that the things that have happened in this country make up what this country is, okay? We had the Civil War, okay? I don't have a problem with statues erected down south of various people, whether it's Robert E. Lee or other generals or other leaders. That's what happened. Those were the people that fought in the Civil War back then. They put these statues up, okay? People flying their flag. I don't have a problem with that as long as the American flag is above it. I don't have a problem with that. But a lot of people today want to act as though history never happened. Now, it's 2017. And everybody is saying, well, we want to take these down because they symbolize racism. They symbolize racism. Okay, so it's 2017, and now they want to take the flags down. They want to take the statues down because it symbolizes racism. Well, I got into a heated discussion on Facebook with somebody today, and he had mentioned that his father was in World War II. And he also said that his father would never tolerate the things that are going on today when it comes to the racism that's going on. And I wasn't really sure exactly where he was coming from, but we were talking about the statues. We were talking about the flags, the Confederate flags, and then he brought that on me in a post. So I basically responded, well, first of all, thank you for your father for his service to his country, the greatest generation in the world. Now, I find it weird that he's telling me that his father was completely against all of this, and yet the people, the veterans of the world's greatest generation, they didn't go around the country taking down statues. They didn't go around the country taking down the Confederate flags. You want to know why? Because they knew that it was a part of American history. But yet he's telling me, well, my father wouldn't have tolerated this. He tried to play that sympathy card that, oh, well, your father served in World War II, therefore you've got a point. No. See, I kind of reversed it on him. Your father is part of the greatest generation in the world, but the mere fact that your father served and served honorably among all the men and women that he served with, both in this nation and the allied nations of this world, and they didn't go around the entire country taking down statues, taking down posters, taking down plaques, taking down, different things that represented the Confederate Army, only tells me that he and the rest of his comrades and the people that he served with, they respected history. You can't change history. Even his father, who served during World War II, was not around in a state in which he can do something about it during the Civil War. Okay? So they weren't upset about it, but now in 2017, we've got all these people upset about it because they think it symbolizes racism. Well, what about the 60s? What about the 50s? What about the 70s? What about Martin Luther King? What about Malcolm X? What about Al Sharpton? What about Jesse Jackson? What about all those leaders, especially Martin Luther King, who I have a high degree of respect for? He didn't go around wanting to march into different cities down south and take down statues and take down the Confederate flags and take down all these monuments. That never happened. That never happened. There was a civil war. It happened. Just like when we founded this country, the British tried to get us out. We fought for this land and we were able to keep it and drive the British out. Does that mean when I fly into the UK, they're going to wait for an American to arrive and say, nope, you can't come here. We don't like what you stand for. No, because the people of the UK, the people of Great Britain, the people of England know that it's 2017. That history happened a long time ago. That ship sailed a long time ago. No pun intended, but it did. That stuff happened in the past. It happened. Okay, but when you start taking, now they want to start, now I even heard that they want to take members' faces off Mount Rushmore. They want to blow the faces off Mount Rushmore. Are you freaking kidding me? They want to start taking down statues like of Abraham Lincoln. What's this country coming to? What is this country coming to? I mean, it's bad enough that years ago when you flew the American flag as an example, it was an example of someone being proud to be an American. Now if you say, I'm proud to be an American, and if you fly your American flag, people label you as a racist. And I have a huge problem with that. I do. And I don't understand for the life of me what is going on in this country. Why people are doing the things that they're doing. They've already taken the word God out of schools now. When I was in school, we said the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay? That's what we did. We didn't question it. When I was growing up as a kid, I was taught stand for the national anthem, put your hand over your heart. If you're in uniform, you salute the flag. Plain and simple. It's all about respect of our country, respect of the flag. We can't even have that anymore. Now people are taking the American flag down and replacing it with the gay pride flag. Okay? The gay pride colors over the White House when President Obama was in office. I have a problem with that. I have a problem with that. We're all free. We all have rights. It doesn't matter what nationality we are, where we come from, or what religion we practice, or what gender we claim we want to be, or if we like guys or girls or whatever. We're all Americans or whatever, or British or whatever country you're from. But if you're from a Western country, a civilized Western country, and you have freedoms, you have rights to do things. Just like you have rights no matter if you like it or not, whether you like white supremacists or not, they have the right to want to protect the things that they feel they want to protect. And if that's a statue, that's a statue. But again, I don't condone the violence. I don't condone that idiot that got in the car and decided to drive through a bunch of people. That's ridiculous. That's appalling. That kind of stuff can't happen. If you're going to protest peacefully, you don't protest by getting in a car and running people over. You don't go to a protest with a helmet, a shield, and a bat. If you go to a protest with a helmet, a shield, and a bat, chances are you're not going there to peacefully protest. And I, for one, don't have a problem with what Donald Trump had to say about what happened. Okay? Everybody wants to say if Donald Trump didn't call it what it was, but when Barack Obama was in office and he didn't call radical Islam, nobody had a problem with it. Nobody had a problem with Barack Hussein Obama bowing down to the leaders of Saudi Arabia. I'll be damned if I bow down to them. I'm not bowing down to nobody. But now, President Trump decides he's going to say, look, it's both sides causing the problem. And it is. It is. There's no question that the white supremacists caused problems and they did things that were not, that were reprehensible. They were bad. But the bottom line is you've got people from both sides. Both sides. I'll say it again. Both sides showing up to a protest with weapons and shields and helmets. What do you expect is going to happen? Do you expect people to just shake hands and sing Kumbaya? No. Things are going to happen. Things are going to happen. You have that right to peacefully protest in the United States. You have the right for freedom of expression, with the exception of violence. And I don't have a problem with the statues and all these different things. Nobody had a problem with the show Dukes of Hazzard in the 70s. Remember Dukes of Hazzard? For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, Google it or YouTube the Dukes of Hazzard. Nobody said anything about the General Lee having the Confederate flag on it. In fact, I had a black friend in high school. His name was Virgil. And I had a couple Hispanic friends, and we used to love watching the Dukes of Hazzard. We used to watch it at my house, along with Kung Fu Theater and a couple of other shows. That's what we watched. My friend who was black and my Hispanic friends, they never looked at me and said, geez, you know, I don't really like that flag. I'm offended. Because they understood that that was part of the South. That was part of what the history is. It just takes one person to get angry today in 2017 before you got an army of freaking lunatic morons wanting to protest because they want to try and assume that the history never happened. Well, I got news for you. It happened. And taking those monuments down and saying that you're going to blow up the freaking monuments and you're going to blow up Mount Rushmore, you think that's good? Do you think that's the way to handle your business? Do you think that's going about your protesting in a non-violent way? Do you think that tearing things down in the middle of the night is the right thing to do? Because I don't. And I don't know what this country's coming to, but I'm sure glad that I raised my kids conservative. I'm sure glad that I'm conservative. I'm sure glad that I have pride in my country. I'm sure glad that I have pride in the history of my country, history of the pride in the history of Europe and the countries that I've been to, pride in the history of those countries that I served with in the United States Army, pride in everything that makes the United States what it is. Good or bad. We learn from our mistakes, but we don't deny the things that have happened, good or bad. And if you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you. I'm Dave Baggs. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment. And you know what? If I lose subscribers because of this video, I don't care. Because guess who I voted for? Donald Trump. And you know what? I'm not a racist. I believe in strong borders. I believe in a strong military. And I believe in holding those borders strong and only letting people in that want to come to this country legally. And if you have a problem with that, stick it where the sun don't shine. Lie in the fetal position. Suck your thumb. Go inside your safe space. Get a box of Kleenex. Cry. Because I'm not going to do it. Some of you might. I'm Dave Baggs. I'm out of here. And God bless America. Yeah, I said it. God.